5.
Niners. Now, they're not good in the red zone. My belief is Christian McCaffrey will solve that. But they've led by 10-plus points in 5 of 6 games. They are physical. They're multi-dimensional. Because of Shanahan, they all seemingly always have a lead. Number 2 passing offense, number 3 rushing offense, and that's without Christian McCaffrey. Also, Brock Purdy has been tremendous on third down this year. You know how much that means to me. I think the great quarterbacks are third down quarterbacks. Mahomes the best in a long time. I have San Francisco at 5.
All right. This is actually a really funny spot. Let me see. Because the 49ers were unranked last week, right? Now they're number 5. They were unranked. And he was questioning Brock Purdy. He definitely can't make up his mind about the 49ers and Brock Purdy, right? One minute he goes, Brock Purdy, he's a franchise quarterback. The next minute he's saying, I'm picking Bo Nix and Dak Prescott over Brock Purdy. And then the next minute he's like, Brock Purdy, he's that guy. And then the next minute he's like, Brock Purdy, there's no excuses. And it's just like, what is your conclusion about Brock Purdy? And it's not like the 49ers or Purdy for that matter are playing great, playing terrible, playing great, playing terrible. Like, I could understand if we were getting big swings, but I think Brock Purdy this season has been very consistent. You're not going to win every single game, and not every game is going to be flawless, but I think he's been very, 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 very consistent. So I find it interesting that last week they're unranked, and then now this week they beat the Seattle Seahawks, an unranked team, and I don't think the Seahawks are this great team personally. I don't, and I'm not saying that they're a bad team, but I think their stock was overinflated before, and then now they're suddenly, they shoot up to 5 now, right? I could understand if they were unranked, they beat the Seahawks, and he's like, Colin's like, okay, they're actually pretty good. I'm going to put them at 10 or 9. He's like, no, this is a top 5 team. And it's like, well, then why were you so convinced that they weren't a top 10 team before? And I had put the 49ers in there before. Make no mistake about it. I think originally he had the Cowboys in there. And I was like, there's no way you're going to put the Dallas Cowboys in your herd hierarchy top 10 and not put the 49ers. I get if you don't want to put the 49ers in top 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. But you're not going to tell me that the 49ers aren't at least a top 10 team. Like that, they're in that tier, in that category. So again, and I don't know exactly what number where to put the 49ers exactly. I just consider them a top team. And I think, of course, Christian McCaffrey matters to this team. And I'm not going to waste too much time emphasizing that because I've already talked about that at length. But I think for the most part, we're going to see the 49ers continue to be exactly who they are and who they've been. But they are just essentially waiting for Christian McCaffrey to come over and come back, and I think he will, and really just take them back over the edge, right? To really put them truly back in that we are truly a top 1, 2, 3, right? And it's not even like if you're 2 or 3, like it's just, right, these are the teams that we know are truly the top teams, because the 49ers throughout the season, understandably so, 3-3, right? A somewhat inconsistent start, Christian McCaffrey not there. And so it does make sense. I think even if you're a 49ers fan, you can understand that. But I just think that this team is still there. They still got the bones, the skeleton of the true Super Bowl contender. And once Christian McCaffrey comes back, I'm just not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, they can't beat the Chiefs. They can't beat the Ravens. They're not on that. They're on a different level than the Ravens and the Chiefs. Like, no, I'm going to be like, the 49ers are going to be exactly who they've always been. Right, Shanahan is going to be exactly who he's been. Purdy's going to be who he is. Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, right, like all these guys. And I think also, quite frankly, I think what's going to be really exciting is I think Brock Purdy is continuing to grow as a player. And it's funny because this actually proves a lot of, I shouldn't say it proves it, but it's definitely counter to what a lot of people have said, where there's the idea that when you're an older, less hyper athletic quarterback, so think of like the Lamars of the world, that when you enter the league, if you're already at an older age, which Purdy was, and you're not this hyper athletic quarterback, there's only so much room for you to grow in the NFL. That if you're a little bit younger, there's going to be more room for you to grow. And if you're this hyper athletic, athletic freak, then there's going to be more for you to kind of learn and grow and mold you into it. So there was a strong feeling of who Purdy is is who he is, right? That he's not going to continue to get better. And I think he's absolutely continued to get better. And I think his level of confidence has tremendously grown. And obviously, they've even using his mobility more so these last few games. But I just think his confidence and his feeling of, I'm the leader of this team. Like, I am I am the quarterback of the 49ers. Like, I am the quarterback. And it's not like an ego thing, but I do very much think that for the first couple seasons of his career, and understandably so, it was very much like the 49ers are over here, and I'm kind of just lucky to be invited to this party, right? Like, it's almost like he's wearing a costume, right? It's cosplay. It's a costume that he's on the 49ers. Now, to me, it feels like, especially with all the pieces kind of going in and out and the weapons going in and out, and Brock pretty much doing everything he can to keep this team afloat, I would say it's just like, no. Like, I am a 49ers. Like, this jersey is just as much as mine as it is Debo's, as it is Kittle's, as it is, all these other guys. Like, I know I don't have that contract yet, but I am a 49er. They are going to sign me. I am going to get paid whatever I'm going to get paid, but I am the quarterback. I feel it. I sense it. I don't think he's trying to prove that he belongs. He's just showing that he belongs. There's a difference to me. And I think when they now fully become full strength and everyone's finally fully healthy and Brandon Ayuk shakes off the rust or whatever's going on with him and Christian McCaffrey comes back, like, that's got the potential to be really, really exciting. You're going to get a fresh Christian McCaffrey. You're going to get the most confident version and the best version of Brock Purdy you've ever seen. And like, that to me is going to be something that can really, really put a fingerprint on this season for them, right? To really let everyone know, yeah, I know you guys thought that we were kind of falling out. A lot of people have even picked the 49ers to even miss the playoffs. And I think once all of this kind of comes together, they'll be able to remind everyone who they are. And they'll be like, how did you ever leave us unranked, right? Because I'm pretty confident if the Chiefs were 2-3 or whatever, they wouldn't be unranked, right? It's like, even though the Chiefs haven't been playing great ball, everyone still gives them the benefit of the doubt ultimately, right? It seems like the 49ers were not getting the benefit of the doubt. They were getting a half benefit of the doubt. They were still like, well, it's Shanahan. Well, it's Debo and Kittle. Like, they were getting some of it. And Christian McCaffrey's not here. But they weren't getting the benefit of the doubt of, like, no, they're still going to be a great team, even though this hasn't looked great. Like, kind of like the Bengals. The Bengals have been losing, and yet people are still kind of like, no. I understand that they have a bad record, but it's still Joe Burrow, still Jamar Chase, still T. Higgins. This team is still trouble. Let's go. And I just don't think the 49ers were getting that. And I think eventually people will feel silly for not giving that benefit of the doubt for the 49ers. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the 49ers being unranked and then going to top 5 based off of the win against Seattle? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.